Yes. So when you will keep these fertilizers, they contains the nitrates. They contains the nitrates. Understanding? That is what they are made up of. One of the raw material is nitrogen. So that is the reason why the nitrogen plants cannot absorb the nitrogen directly. So whenever we will keep the nitrates, so these plants when they will mix with the water through the help of roots, this everything will be absorbed. So that is why, as we know that, understanding. So in the form of organic compounds which are produced by bacteria from the atmospheric nitrogen, rhizobium bacteria, groundnuts roots, if you'll observe, we have a bacteria called as rhizobium bacteria, which can convert the nitrogen into nitrates and it will absorb, it will give it supply to the plant. Have you remembered?
So nitrogen cycle.
Yeah. Rhizobium bacteria, which is present in groundnut roots. Understand? If you observe the groundnut roots, next time you will observe. So root will be like this, means upper surface will be like this swelling. Understand? Like this, you can use to observe swelling. So this is only called as rhizobium bacteria. Understand? Which is taking a shelter from the groundnut plant, and for the benefit, it will do the benefit to it. What is the benefit it will do means, it will absorb the nitrogen from the atmosphere. It will absorb the nitrogen from the atmosphere and convert it into nitrates. It will convert it into nitrates and it will supply to the plant. Understanding? Because nitrogen is the most important mineral for production of proteins as well as so many kinds of other compounds by the plants to build up their body. It is required for the growth. If you want to grow the plant, if the plant wants to grow, the nitrogen is compulsory, but they cannot take directly. That is why they need some support. That is in the form of nitrates we people wish to give. So through the roots only they will absorb. So these are the things regarding raw materials, how the plants obtain the carbon dioxide as well as how the plants will obtain water for the photosynthesis. Is there any doubt? You can ask me. Understand, Amma? All of you? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Now, write the 2 points.
Yes,
That's all. Write it, all of you. The water required by the plants, the water required by the plants, the water required by the plants is absorbed by the roots of the plants, 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 is absorbed by the roots of the plants from the soil, roots of the plants, from the soil, through the process of osmosis. Through the process of which process?
Osmosis.
Osmosis. Not asthma, right? Asthma is the disease for humans. Is it yes? Not asthma.
Yes, sir.
It is osmosis.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now, what is this osmosis means? Remember, for example, general life I am saying you. What is the meaning of this osmosis means? Understand, Amma? Suppose, let me take, I am having a one beaker. So middle some barrier is there. So this side some more salts are there, minerals. More minerals are there. And this side only less minerals are there. Now, what is the meaning of osmosis means? If I remove this barricade, then this all the minerals will be distributed equally. Is it yes or no? Is it yes or
Yes,
no?
sir.
Yes or no? That process is only called as.
Yes, sir.
Understand? It is the just net movement of solved, understanding, solvent
The flow of
a selectively permeable membrane into a gas
from higher concentration to lower
higher concentration to lower concentration. Once they will acquire the equal concentration, both, then there is no kind of transportation. So that is what. Understand, Amma? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, all of you right now. Definition of osmosis, because it is biology, so you cannot generally define. This is the general definition, but as biology you should write according to the water transportation as well as living cell. Is it yes or no? We are living cells, that is why, right? Movement of a solvent. Movement of a solvent. Who is the solvent, Ra? Who is the solvent in the case of here osmosis? Who is the solvent? Water is the solvent. Is it yes or no?
Water, sir. Water, sir.
Water is known as universal solvent. Class 6th, you are studying water chapter. Do you remember?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then what you are saying? Water is called as universal solvent. That is what? Right. A movement of solvent, bracket you can write. What is that? Water.
Water.
Water through a semi-permeable membrane. What is the meaning of semi-permeable membrane? Which is
Plasma membrane.
a small pores. Understanding? Like you can see, olden days, your mother asked you to filter the water. We people will take some cloth and we'll cover that and we'll pour on it. Then slowly water alone will go. Any dust and all present will be present this side. Is it yes or no? Yes,
Yes,
or
sir.
no? So semi-permeable membrane means a membrane which is having a tiny pores. Understand? So through these pores only the water will be absorbed. Understand? Right. A movement of solvent, water, bracket, water through a semi-permeable membrane, but it is what? Living cell or non-living cell? Living cell. Is it yes or no?
Sir.
So that is why you should
Living
write
cell.
as of a living cell. As of a living cell. Living cell. Bracket. Living cell into a solution of semi-permeable membrane into a solution of, bracket you can write as of a living cell. Understanding? Solution of higher concentration, higher solute concentration to, what will happen? Lower solute concentration. Write it. Semi-permeable membrane into a solution of, into a solution of higher solute concentration. Higher solute concentration. Higher solute concentration. Understanding? That tends to, what will happen, Ra? It will become equalized. Is it yes or no? That tends to
Yes, sir.
concentration that tends to equalize the concentration of solute on the two sides of the membrane. Solute on the two sides of the membrane.
Sir, can you say after higher solute concentration?
Higher concentration that tends to higher concentration, higher solute.
Sir, please repeat it from first, sir.
Okay. Movement of solvent, bracket you can write water through a semi-permeable membrane, bracket you can write as of a living cell, semi-permeable membrane as of a living cell into a solution of higher solute concentration, solute concentration that tends to equalize the concentrations of solute on the two sides of the membrane. That's all. On the two sides of the membrane. So that is called as osmosis. Understand? So now, is it only water is absorbed by the plants at these roots?
No, nitrogen,
Also
phosphorus,
mineral,
potassium,
liquid minerals also. So what is that?
mineral,
Right.
nitrogen,
Yeah.
phosphorus,
Plants
potassium.
take minerals like the plants take minerals like the plants take minerals like the plants take minerals like NPK. What is the full form of NPK?
Nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium.
Phosphorus and
Nitrogen,
potassium.
potassium.
Yeah. The plants take materials like minerals like nitrogen, phosphorus, nitrogen, comma, phosphorus, comma, potassium, potassium. The plants take minerals like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, iron, iron and magnesium, iron and magnesium, iron and magnesium, etc., etc. from the soil, from the soil, from the soil. Full stop. Example. Example. What is the example I have taught, Ra? What is the example I have taught? Absorption of nitrogen.
Nitrogen.
Absorb on nitrogen.
So is it plants can absorb the nitrogen directly through the leaves?
No, sir.
No, they don't have a capacity to absorb the nitrogen directly.
Rhizobium
So they will
bacteria.
absorb in the form of
Rhizobium bacteria.
nitrates or nitrogenous compounds. So that is also what with the help of roots. Or else the bacteria which is present on the roots of the plant, they can absorb the nitrogen from the atmosphere and they will convert it into nitrate and they will supply to the plants. Understand? So that is what we should write. Right. Nitrogen is an nitrogen example. Nitrogen is an essential element. Nitrogen is an essential element. Is it only for plants or for us also? Humans also. Who is allowing it to grow your body? Not only your body, any body, plant body or animal body, let it be. Who is helping you to develop our body? If you are growing means in the sense of we need one mineral. What is that?
Food.
Are nitrogen, Rasami. Nitrogen is the element mineral which will helping us to grow. Understanding the growth of a body is depends on nitrogen, both plants and animals. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Remember, at least not only in plants, in humans, every animal, the growth mineral is called as nitrogen is the growth element. Understanding, right? Nitrogen is an essential element used by the plants to make proteins and other compounds full stop. The plants take up nitrogen from the soil. The plants take up nitrogen from the soil. The plants take up nitrogen from the soil. In the form of inorganic compounds. Inorganic compounds. That is only we used to call as salts. Remember, inorganic salts. Understand? Inorganic compounds called nitrates. Inorganic compounds called as nitrates, or we can write nitrites. Both are understanding. Nitrates or nitrites. Both are same. Nitrites. Inorganic compounds, bracket you can write salts, called nitrates or nitrites bracket or So this is if you will supply, they will absorb. Or else bacteria is there. That is right. This is inorganic substance. Or in the form of organic compounds. Or in the form of organic compounds. In the form of organic compounds. In the form of organic compounds. Who will prepare? Who will prepare? Compounds. Which is prepared by whom? Which are prepared by whom? The bacteria, man. Bacteria which is present in the roots.
Rhizobium bacteria.
Which are produced by bacteria. Which are produced by bacteria. From where it will take the nitrogen? From where it will take the nitrogen? From the atmosphere. Bacteria. Understanding? From the atmosphere. From the atmospheric nitrogen. That's all. From the atmospheric nitrogen. All of you write it. Is there any doubt? You can ask me. So this is all about the absorption of two raw materials. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
All of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So now, if you have any doubt, you can ask me till here. Write it. So those who joined late, Ashika, what happened to you today? Next who joined now? Pranav, are you there in meeting? Pranav still not yet joined. Pranav is not joined. And Humera also now only joined. Humera? Before itself. What happened to Pranita? Jesse, have you called her?
Sir, the call was not connected, sir.
Okay. Nitish, you also. You joined late only, correct, Nitish? Don't repeat it, Nitish, because you are a good student. You have much capacity. You can easily, if you are like this, no concentration, no use. I am saying you. Dedication, I need dedication from everybody.
Yes, sir.
Yes? All of you.
Yes, sir.
Now, where the photosynthesis reaction is, means in the sense of the site of photosynthesis. The site of photosynthesis only we used to call it as, I have already shown you while I am teaching you the guard cells. I have shown you some of the green color spherical shaped balls. What is that called as? What is that called as? Green color guard cells. Guard cells inside we are having a green.
God cells, sir.
What is that called as? I have told you the name.
Chloroplast.
Chloroplast. All of you should remember. What we used to call that as? Chloroplast. So they are the site of photosynthesis. Means the photosynthesis reaction will take place in the chloroplast. So that is why chloroplast is called as a site of photosynthesis. So now the next concept which we are going to study is site of photosynthesis. All of you write it. Site of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. Site of photosynthesis. What we used to call? Chloroplast. Chloroplast. P-L-A-S-T-S. Remember. Chloroplast. So now, drop your pens, everything, and you listen. Nitinath, Arvind, are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, let us come to here. We can call it as where the photosynthesis reaction will take place means photosynthesis reaction is carried out in chloroplast. That is why these are called as site of photosynthesis. So if we'll take this chloroplast are the organelles in the cells. They are the parts of cells of a green plants which contain chlorophyll. Understand? Which contains what?
Chlorophyll.
Contains what? These are called as organelles. What we used to call? This chloroplast are called as organelles of the cells. Understanding? Organelles. They are called as organelles of the cells. Organelles of the cells, which they contains what? which they contains
Chlorophyll.
CHLO, chlorophyll, PHYLL. So, which they contains chlorophyll, where photosynthesis reaction will take place. Where photosynthesis reaction will takes place. People understand? So, do you understand how much, how inside, very deep inside the chloroplast is present? Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So, if we'll take this chloroplast, understand? So, inside if we'll observe, understand, chlorophyll, which, understand, where it is the photosynthesis reaction is taking place. Now, that is why if we'll see, the photosynthesis occurs in the organelles called, where it is organelles? The photosynthesis occurs in the organelles called chloroplast, present in the inside photolytic cells, photosynthetic cells of green plants. So this photosynthetic cells is only this God cells, everything. Understand? So where the photosynthesis reaction will take place, that cells is called as photosynthetic cells. So this photosynthetic cells contains chloroplast, and this chloroplast contains what? Chloroplast contains what? Chlorophyll. There, what reaction will take place? Photosynthesis reaction will take place. Understand? So now, this organelles is only called as chloroplast, and this chloroplast present in the some cells, that cells is called as, what we used to call? What we used to call?
Photosynthetic
cells. What we should call?
photosynthetic cells. Photosynthetic cells.
Synthetic cells. Photosynthetic. Photosynthetic spelling correct? PHOTOSYN
Yes, sir.
THETIC. Is it?
CH.
Yeah. Photosynthetic, THETIC. Photosynthetic cells. Is it yes or no? So, photosynthetic cells contains chloroplast. Chloroplast contains what? Chlorophyll. So there the photosynthesis reaction will take place. So these photosynthetic cells also we used to call as, understand, mesophile cells. All of you should remember. So mesophile cells are photosynthetic cells. Both are same. Don't get confused. Mesophile,
PHYL.
Understand? Mesophile cells are photosynthetic cells. Both are same, which contains the chloroplast, and chloroplast contains the chlorophyll. So that is why I can say the site of photosynthesis in a cell of a leaf are only called as, what we should call? The site of photosynthesis. What we should call? Tell me, the site of photosynthesis, what we should call?
Chloroplast. Sir. Chloroplast.
So these chloroplast we can see easily by using a light microscope. Understand? So that name called as, name of that microscope is called as light microscope. Understand? So with the help of this microscope, remember, we can able to see this chloroplast. So this chloroplast means, we have seen it. It looks like a spherical shape, and this looks like a green in color. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? So
Yes,
inside
sir.
we have a green in color, and we have a, understanding, some outer cell. So this is only called as chloroplast, and inside this green substance is called as what?
Chlorophyll.
Understand? That is. So that is the reason why we can call them as, understanding, a site of photosynthesis. So if we'll observe this, understand. So if we'll cut this leaf, cross section, the cross section, in our textbook they have given that they have cut the leaf. Have you remembered? Check that. Check the picture. I think page number, I don't know. I don't have a textbook. I have seen it yesterday while I'm preparing in school. Have you noticed it? They have cut the leaf. Like this, they have cut, bisected. Have you remembered? Suppose this is the leaf means. Here they have cut it. Have you noticed it? Check it, all of you. Is there or not in our textbook? Yeah.
Sir.
They have cut it in here, bisection, and middle they are showing something like a thicker. Is it yes or no? Like this they are showing the leaf. Solungappa. Yes. What? No response. Your textbook. You don't have a textbook, sir.
Yes, sir.
The textbooks, which page number, Amma? You tell me that. They will see. And then what is this? Yeah. Your textbook itself, you are unable to find it. What is this? Those who are having textbook, you tell me. Bisection of leaf is there, you see.
Sir, it is 96 page.
Page number 96. Bottom they have given the structure of that, and up they have cut some leaf and they are showing like this.
Yes,
Bisection
sir.
of leaf. Have you seen?
Page number 96.
Page number 96. All of you show it. Yalini, open
Cross
the
section of
show that camera. Zoom your camera. I don't have textbook. Let them see others also. Those I think so many they don't have textbook. You can see I am highlighting the alanines. Have you noticed it here? Can you able to see or not?
Yes, sir.
So now here if you observe, they have bisected the leaf. So here you can see they have bisected the leaf, and that part only we are going to study. That is only called as structure of leaf. Understanding? So in that small thickness only, these many things are present. Guard cells, understanding? Everywhere stomata, bottom part, upper part of the leaf. Well, bottom part and upper part of the leaf, as we know that we have a stomata. If it is a narrow leaf. Understanding? So how the stomata is present, where the guard cells are present, where the chloroplast, everything we used to study. Understanding? In that small thickness only. So that is why if we'll bisect the leaf like this, and if we'll observe a small part, here you can see, C is focusing. So this small part, if we'll observe, that is the structure of the leaf, internal structure of leaf. That is what we are going to study now. Understand, Amma? Okay.
Okay, sir.
Hey, you don't have textbooks. Take the textbooks here from school first. Okay, so that is the bisection of the leaf. So if we'll make a cross section of this leaf, then we can see the chloroplast can be seen as a, understanding, disc-like organelles. They are present like a disc-like, like you can see the upper part you have present like this. Disc-like organelles, they are present like this. These are the chloroplast. So inside we are having a chlorophyll. Like this we can observe in our textbook. You can see the picture also. Understand? So if we'll cut this leaf, if we'll make a cross section of this leaf, then we can see this chloroplast like a numerous disc-like structure, disc-like organelles in the photosynthetic cell or mesophyll cells of, understand, cells, which these cells are present. Remember, this chloroplast is present just below the another part. Above this, one more part of the plant is present. That is only called as understanding, palisade tissue. So which is present above this, understanding, chloroplast. We have a one tissue in the leaf that is only called as palisade tissue. Palisade tissue. So below this only, this chloroplast present, which are looks like a disc-like structures, and inside that they have chlorophyll. Inside that they have chlorophyll. Now, with this I will leave. From next tomorrow we will study what is the structure of cell, where this is present, and how this process, photosynthesis process, will take place and all. We'll study, and for that also I will give you the best diagram which we can get out of 5 out of 5, even if it will come in exam, and we'll study the process one by one, how it will take place. And understand, Amma? So now with this I am going to stop. Thank you all of you.